Artlist IO.
So 28 years later is the third installment in the 28 blank later zombie franchise, with the first one being, of course, 28 days later, and the sequel being 28 weeks later. And now we have 28 years later. It's been that damn long. They didn't even bother to make 28 months later. It's been like, when was 28 weeks later? Like '07, '07, '06, '07, I think. 18 years. 18 years since the last installment in this trilogy, soon to be franchise. So I just want to preface this review by saying I grew up on 28 Days Later and especially 28 Weeks Later. These were the zombie movies I grew up watching. And after that teaser trailer of 28 Years Later, I definitely think 28 Years Later, by the way, has one of the best teaser trailers I have seen in a very, very, very long time. So I think it's fair to say I had pretty high expectations going into this one. And of course, similar to the first installment, 28 Days Later, Danny Boyle is coming back to direct. Alex Garland is coming back to write. Like, fuck yeah. So yeah, I had really high expectations for 28 Years Later. And right off the bat, I'm just gonna say this now. I think this is gonna be one of the most divisive movies of the year. I think this movie really, really will divide audiences. There are definitely gonna be people who hate this movie. There are definitely gonna be people. There are definitely gonna be people who are disappointed by this movie. But there are definitely gonna be people who love this movie. Right now, after the movie, I searched up. It's on 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think there's an audience score yet. That 95% is a critic score. The audience score, I don't think there is one yet, but I definitely see that score being around like 50 or 60%. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna say this right now. I like this movie. I'm on the side of people who like this movie. I respected the vision of this movie. I think the best way I can describe this film is it's kind of what I expected, to be fair. It's a mainstream summer blockbuster with an indie art house kind of, yeah, indie art house Alex Garland vibe. And I respect that because like not a lot of mainstream blockbusters are willing to go there. Especially because they have to cater to a general audience. But this movie's like, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna do my own thing. If I want to write it this way, I'm gonna write it this way, and I respect that. And Danny Boyle, I think, also did an amazing job directing. I think if there's one word I can describe this movie is it's an experience, but I think the more fitting word is experimental. There were definitely moments in the movie where I'm like, okay, they're definitely experimenting with certain things, especially Danny Boyle, especially with how this movie looks, with how this movie was edited, with how this movie was filmed. Like Danny Boyle, they used iPhones to film this movie. Now I'm gonna say they didn't just pull out their fucking iPhones and start filming. They did have to attach advanced lenses and advanced technologies to said iPhones. But even then, like you from that information, you can just tell how experimental they were with this movie. So yeah, you can definitely see that during the first act, during the entire movie, but especially during the first act of this one. Like I saw a picture like last month or last week or something like that of like a rig of iPhones, uh, like a behind the scenes photo of the movie of like a rig of iPhones, and I was like, huh, how is that gonna look in the movie? What's that shot gonna look like? And I'm like, oh, when you watch the movie, you're gonna definitely see what that shot looks like. It like all I can say is it gives kind of a bullet time effect from the Matrix. It's very similar to that with how the camera moves and how kinetic it is. And that's what I love about Danny Boyle actually. I'm no stranger to his style. I know how he likes his movies to be edited. They're very quick cuts, very fast, very hyper, very kinetic type of editing. And he also likes using shaky cam, and his cinematography in general is just very experimental. He just loves using certain angles, and yeah, like if you've watched any of his films, you'll know what I'm talking about. And 28 years later is no different to his other ones in terms of how the movie looks and how it's filmed and how it's edited. And that's what I love about Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle too is shaky cam and quick cuts and quick cutting. It's not exactly appealing to me. I hate that. But there are only certain directors who actually use that style properly. Off the top of my head, I think the directors who actually use shaky cam and quick cutting very properly is off the top of my head, like John Woo, Danny Boyle, and Paul Greengrass with the Bourne films. I because how those directors use it, the directors I just said, because with how they use it, they actually use it to convey the emotions of a scene, to make it feel intense, to make it feel fast paced, to actually immerse the audience in that scene, to actually make us feel what the characters are feeling in that moment. That's why those directors use quick cutting and shaky cam. They use it well because it's not just to hide terrible choreography or to hide errors in a film. It's actually a stylistic choice that contributes to the vibe of the movie. That's why they're good. That's why they use it well. Whereas certain films, they just use it to hide errors, to hide terrible choreography. AK, I'm looking at you, Taken 2 and 3. Taken 1 was actually good, but Taken 2 and 3, I'm looking at you. Especially Taken 3. Fucking Taken 3. Fucking it doesn't take 17 angles just for our protagonist to jump a fucking fence. You don't need fucking a million angles for that, okay? I'm just saying. That's why so I'm no stranger to Danny Boyle's directing style. And I really like his directing style. He's very bold. He's always finding ways to make things feel fresh. He's always experimental with his films, and yeah, especially with 28 years later. Like I said, the iPhone thing, that rig, shooting at iPhones. Like I see the vision, I see the ambition, and I respect it. I really, really do. I think Danny Boyle did an amazing job, especially with certain sequences in this film. I think he brings the intensity. He does an amazing job. That's what I love about 28 Days Later too is the sequence and 28 weeks later too, but in 28 days later sequences are so intense. They bring the intensity. And in 28 years later, holy shit, this there are a lot of intense sequences in this one. There's I don't want to give away too many details, but I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say it 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 made me lock up at certain points. I was like, fuck, come on. And yeah, Danny Boyle, he has proven himself to be an amazing director when it comes to directing intense sequences. He's proven that. Like I said, Alex Garland coming back to write, and of course, I already did say he does bring that indie art house vibe. His indie art house writing style to this movie. I kind of did expect that. There are gonna be people who hate that. There are definitely gonna be people who are like, "Oh, you wrote 28, the first 28 days later. Why couldn't you just write this one like that?" Bro, 28 Days Later was 2003. Ever since then, Alex Garland has made other movies. He's made Ex Machina. He's made Annihilation. He's made Men. He's made Civil War. And he's written this movie after the fact. Okay, he has learned a lot of things. He's learned a lot of things. Okay, he has his own style of writing now, and he does bring that to the table when it comes to this movie. And I respect that. I really, really appreciate that because you don't see a lot of mainstream blockbusters taking risks like this. They have to cater to a general audience, and for a summer blockbuster, to have this kind of vibe, I respect it. I really, really do. Um, I think everyone did amazing in this movie. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson's great. I think Ralph Fiennes is great. I think Jodie Comer is absolutely fucking fantastic. But I think the one who stole the show, the one was absolutely exceptional in this movie, it really is Alfie Williams, the kid who plays Spike. Uh, he did an amazing job in this movie. This is his movie. He's in the spotlight, and he fucking owns it. He is amazing in this movie. Truly exceptional. One of the many great child performances we've got in these past few years. He's fucking great. I say that like I'm a fucking boomer. I'm fucking 19. Holy shit. Yeah, he did amazing. Like the way he sold the emotional beats of his character. He did it in such a believable way. It felt very raw. It felt real. It felt believable. Like it. Fuck yeah, he did amazing. He did really really well. Like damn, I see a bright future for this fucking kid. He's great. Um,
So the mic stopped working. Shit. Okay, so while I do appreciate and respect Alex Garland for bringing his art house indie writing style into this movie, I do think at certain points some elements of the story didn't quite work for me. Um, how do I say this? It's so hard to review this movie without revealing too many spoilers. Okay, I'm just gonna put a slight warning here. Very minor spoilers. I'm not gonna give anything specific away. Don't worry. I think it's just to help give context to my point and to also help manage expectations. Actually, so very minor spoilers. So like both trailers, both trailers. I think pretty much 80% of what you see in those trailers are just the first act of the movie. Yes, I didn't quite expect that. Yeah, so yeah. So pretty much after the first act, the story goes to a whole nother direction. And reasonings behind that certain shift didn't quite get me on board. I wasn't quite invested in it. It wasn't quite believable for me. Like certain reasonings for certain actions. I'm like, that doesn't quite make sense to me. It kind of felt very arbitrary. It kind of felt like an arbitrary decision. It felt very random. Like there's there's a moment. There's a pretty big pivotal moment where a character decides to do something, right? A pretty big moment. Decides to do something pretty big. And like moments before that, like scenes before that, this character was pretty terrified and kind of showed that he's not ready. And then suddenly he wants to do this certain thing. Like, where did you suddenly grow balls? Like what? What? Like certain reasonings just felt very shallow and random to me. And I guess that's where I'm like, huh. Okay, it's kind of weird. And the first act of this movie is kind of pretty rocky. Yeah. Yeah. And that ending too. That ending is just so weird and so random. Like, talk about a whole tonal shift. Like, cause holy shit, what the fuck just happened? So yeah. I think that's yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for a pretty experimental and ambitious movie. I think, like I said, I respect this movie. I think it's exactly what it is, kind of. It's kind of what I expected. Like, it's a mainstream summer blockbuster that has an art house vibe to it. Of course, Alex Garland is the writer, and does it hit all the beats? Does it do all the pieces come together? Not exactly. But fuck man, I respect the ambition and I respect the vision. I think Danny Boyle did a very good job. And I think Alex Garland did a pretty good job too. I respect what they did with this one. I respect the direction they went with this movie. I really do, because like I respect them for not going with the route of revitalizing this franchise just for the sake of revitalizing it, like making another conventional zombie movie. I appreciate them for trying to do something different. I really really do. So yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna give 28 years later a B plus. So yeah, I'm changing my grading system. I'm no longer doing out of 10. I'm just doing a letter scale, A plus to F. I just find it more fun and I find it easier to grade the movie that way. So I'm just gonna go for that. Just from now on, I'm changing it to that. So yeah, I felt this is definitely gonna be a divisive movie. I definitely see people hating this one. I definitely see people being disappointed, but I think this movie will still have its fans. Like myself, I really did like this one. I respected the hell out of it. I respected it. I think that's my consensus for it. I respected it. Yeah. So yeah, go check it out. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Start a war in the comments, whatever. There are definitely gonna be people who disagree with my opinion, and that's fine. I don't care. We're all human. I really don't care. So yeah. This has been it for your boy. I'll see you in the next one, and peace out. Bye.